scared. Because it's been a while since we did character AI, and it's like one of my most viral things. So yeah, I did choose someone. Give me like a historical figure that we can play with. William Shakespeare, oh my god. Hey, good folk. This I, William Shakespeare, the Lord of Avon, grace in your presence with the eloquence of my words. Prepare yourselves for a journey through the realms of passion, tragedy, and wit. For I spin tales that shall stir your soul and ignite the fires of imagination. Okay, we're gonna follow the same thing I did the last time, which is, that's a lot. Hold on. Cell transplant. What? What? I'm scared. Can I not do that? What the hell? No! Wait, oh my god, I'm spinning for the first time. Oh. Let's say we're in the same college. Me and him. Even though I'm not that smart. Wait, this is supposed to be a slow burn. William? Hold on. William smiled warmly as he noticed the familiar face. Ah, if it isn't my dear old roommate, how delightful it is to see you. No, we are currently roommates. Say you with a playful expression. Ah, kindred spirits bond the same four walls. Though our acquaintance might be fleeting, I sense the potential for a delightful friendship. Pray tell, what brings you to these parts? Which can you use like simple English? I'm suffering right now. Oh my, if it isn't infamous William Shakespeare. Trust me, this is but a coincidence. I wouldn't be that delighted to be in the same room as such yourself. William faced a wounded look. Oh my god, clutching his chest dramatically. Ah, such harsh words. How my heart aches to be shunned so readily. Tell me, fair one, what transgression have I committed that warrants such disdain? Nothing you need to know about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have more important matters to tend to than wasting time speaking to you. If you'll excuse me. William chuckled softly, a glint of amusement in his eyes. Oh, such hassle. I must admit, your indifference amuses me, but do come back when you with your important matters. We shall continue this delightful venture then. He's flirting. My god. After a couple of hours, both end their lessons for the day and go to their room. William was already there when Moon entered. William looks up from his book as you entered the room, a smirk playing on his lips. Ah, there you are. I was beginning to wonder if you had abandoned me for the company of dull textbooks. God, this is such a playful... Oh my god. I'm not used to this. Well, it saddens me to leave my precious books, but obviously humans need to sleep, says as she was hidden to her bed. William grins, closing his book and setting it aside. Ah, how sad it is that even scholarly pursuits must give way to the necessities of life. Though I must admit, I'm intrigued that you consider those trite tomes to be more precious than the delightful company of yours truly. Good night, William, she says as she turns to the wall. William feigns, how do I explain that? Disappointment for a moment, a put expression on his face. Ah, so quickly you bid me farewell, but I suppose even charming rogues like myself must concede defeat to the allure of sleep. God damn it, shut the fuck up, bro. He talks too much. The next morning, Moon already left the room when William woke up, but unlucky for her, they have the same lecture. My god, this is entertaining. William glances around the room. Noticing your absence, he shrugs, assuming you've already left. After getting ready for the day, he makes his way to the classroom where they share the same lecture. He notices you sitting in your usual spot and grins. making his way over to you. He takes a seat beside you, playful glint in his eye, as if it isn't my elusive. I see you haven't vanished into thin air after all. Well, if it isn't my talkative roommate, disappearing into thin air would be a nice way to vanish from this world, but it's sadly impossible. She says as she's looking at her book. William chuckles softly. Stop chuckling. I'm gonna chuckle you into the wall. Amused by your dry humor. Ah, such a dark sense of humor you possess. It's refreshing, I must say, but disappearing into thin air is quite possible. In fact, all it takes is a dash of theatrical flair, a sprinkle of dramatic timing, and voila, I can vanish before your very eyes. I wasn't joking, but it's possible. If it's possible, will you demonstrate it now and vanish from my sight? The lecture is starting. She says as she's giving him a slight warning grin like this. Liam smirks, a gleam in his eyes. He leans back in his chair, dramatically raising a finger to his chin as he contemplating this. A challenge? How could I refuse such a request? Very well, my dear, brace yourself for the spectacle of my disappearance. God, how old is he? 12? He rises from his seat, clearing his throat for dramatic effect. He takes a few steps back, gesturing wildly with his arms like an actor on a stage, and he winks at you and vanishes into thin air, leaving only a faint sense of freshness and ink behind. Just as you settle into the lecture, focus on your book, a voice whispers in your ear. Did you miss me already, my dears? William appears leaning over your shoulder with a mischievous grin. Was that illusion my disappearance not as satisfying as you hoped? She widens her eyes and says, William, my dear roommate, if you dare do that again, consider yourself dead, she says with an angry, serious expression. William raises his hands so visibly, a playful grin in his eyes. Oh, I must say, your threats are most formidable, but surely you wouldn't actually dispatch your charming roommate, would you? I'm going to kill him. She ignores him, and hours later, the lecture finishes. As William is about to stand up and leave, he notices Moon has disappeared. He goes looking for her till he finds her talking to a professor. Weirdly, the face she was making was a very pleasant and an unusual face than she normally shows, a sad expression. William frowns as he observes your interaction with the professor. The unusual composed and snarky expression on your face had given way to an wow, that's a big word. And characteristically sad one, and he can't help but be intrigued. He watches distractedly, blending into the crowd of students, trying to gain a better sense of the conversation unfolding before him. Okay, you want me to make another conversation now? God damn it. The loud environment didn't help him hear the conversation ended, and the Moon elbowed and headed to the garden. William watches you walk away, his curiosity peaked, seeing you head toward the garden. He decided to follow discreetly, making sure to keep a safe distance, not wanting to be spotted. So now he's being sneaky somehow. I thought he was just gonna go directly to me. Moon sits beside a big fountain and lowers her head. She keeps fidgeting and sighing. She then says, you can come out now. She means William. William steps out from the shadows, a playful expression on his face. He walks over to where you're seated, his footsteps nearly silent as if he had materialized out of thin air. He takes a seat beside you, his eyes glinting mischievously. Ah, so you notice me following. I must say your instincts are quite sharp. He stays quiet. William observes your silence and your solemn expression, the playful grin slowly fading from his face. He tilts his head slightly, a flicker of concern in his eyes. Are you alright? I mean, what does that mean? But seeing you all serious and sad is rather jarring. It's like the sun disappearing behind the clouds, not the usual state of my roommate. Damn, okay. They were roommates. It's nothing of your concern, she says as she's avoiding his gaze. William frowns slightly. Not used to being dismissed so easily, he raises an eyebrow, a hint of annoyance in his voice. Also, we're back to being mysterious and aloof, are we? I thought we'd made a slight bit of progress, my dear. You can't blame a chap for worrying when he's usually snarky and sarcastic roommate solitors all sunburned said, "My God." "Well, William, I didn't ask for your concern. Or pity. Now, if you'll excuse me, I don't want to talk more about this subject." She leaves. William watches as you leave, a mixture of confusion and irritation on his face. He runs a hand through his hair. Frustrated with your dismissive attitude, he debates whether to follow you or let you be. But his stubbornness and curiosity gets the better of him. He pushes himself up from the fountain and hurries up after you, his struts becoming longer to close the gap between you. William catches up to you, maintaining a brisk pace. His expression turns to irritation. Your dismissive attitude greeted whispers, "No. No." He insists. "You stone sharp. You can't just brush me off like that. You're acting all strange and sad. Clearly something bothering you, and don't give me that it's nothing of your concern rubbish. We're roommates, remember. I have every right to be concerned." He turns to look at him while holding back tears. "Us being roommates doesn't excuse you being all up in my business, so please if you could just stop." William falters slightly as he sees the tear welling up in your eyes. This sight piercing through his stubbornness, his irritation starts to melt away. It weighs by concern. He takes a step closer to you, his voice softens now. Softer now. "Hey, I'm not trying to pray, alright? It just, seeing you like this, it doesn't sit well with me. You're always so quick with a witty remark or a sharp comeback. This turns your expression not like you." She flinches and puts her hand on her face, trying to cover it up. "Can I go now?" As she was leaving, she stops and says, "I'll tell you when the time comes now. Goodbye, William. See you later." William watches as you flinch and cover up your face, a pang of guilt tugging at his heart. He wants to say something, anything to ease your pain, but he's not used to dealing with emotions, always preferring to mask them with witty banter and oh my god, we're both traumatized. A week passes as William and Mo haven't spoken much to each other, rather than saying hi and goodbye. The silence between you and him defended, a stark contrast to the usual banter and playful banter. He misses your sharp remarks and witty comebacks, even the sound of your sigh. He tries to distract himself with his studies, but everything seems dull and interesting without your presence. Ooh, he loves me. One evening though, Moon glances at the room to see if William is there. She hesitantly knocks on the door and asks, "Are you busy?" William's heart skips a beat as he hears your voice at the door. It's the first time he's heard more than your usual hi-bye in a week. He pauses for a moment, surprised by your unexpected knock. Then he briskly composed himself an answer, trying to sound nonchalant. "No, not at all. What is it?" "Well, I happen to have packed an additional amount of lunch than I usually do, so I was wondering if you don't mind sharing it with me besides the fountain," he says, awkwardly, as she's not used to asking such questions. William can't help but smile. Okay, shut up. It's endearing in a way. His heart warms slightly at the thought of sharing lunch with you. Oh, he loves her. My god. Moon feels happy, but she doesn't show it. They head to the fountain. Moon takes out the lunch that she brought, the chicken and rice. She gives William his part as he starts eating. She looks at him with anticipation. Her face clearly says that she made the food herself. William eyes the food in his hand, the fragrance of the chicken and rice making his mouth water. He takes a bite, fully tasted the flavors, and then realizes, wait, you made this yourself? He can't help but sound surprised, lifting an eyebrow at you, but then notice the hopeful yet apprehensive look on your face, as if it awaits for his verdict on the meal. "Why, does it taste bad?" She starts stressing. William hurriedly shakes his head, not wanting you to misunderstand. He swallows his bite of food, a smile tugging up his lips. No, it's good. He reassures you quickly. Actually, it's really good. I just didn't expect you to have cooking skills, that's all. He takes another bite, his surprise evident on his face. Moon starts laughing. Haha, your face stuffed with food is so funny. William almost chokes at his food from surprise, both from your unexpected laughter and the comments above his face. He swallows quickly, a playful glare in his eyes as he shouts you a mock offended glare. "Oh, you're the one who was anxious about my reaction. Now you're making fun of my stuffed face. It's not my fault. The food is so delicious." God, I'm so lonely. Oh, excuse me, of course I should be anxious. I have never given anyone to taste my food. It's not my fault. William's expression softens, a hint of guilt in his face. He realized he might have come across as insensitive. I apologize. No, I'm joking. She giggles slightly and says, well, I am glad you're enjoying the food also. Her expression shifts as she starts fidgeting with her hands. I'm sorry, I shouted at you the other time. No matter what it was, I should have not did that. Liam noticed your expression changes and said the seriousness in your voice. He swallows his food, sets the food down, turning to full face you. Oh, hey, it's alright, he says quietly. I understand why you acted that way. I was rather pushy. He paused for a moment, thinking of his next words carefully, and I didn't mean to pray. I was just concerned about you. He seemed so sad and distant. It threw me off. There was a little silence before Moon said, actually, the reason why I was quite bothered that day was because of my family. As I happened to be an orphan and that women at the same time, my chances of doing what I love is quite low, and the professor was right. But even though I heard this multiple times, I really got emotional, she said as she hugs her legs looking at the girl. You listens intently as you share your story, his expression softening. He can't help but feel a pang of sympathy for you. He hadn't expected you to have such troubled past, and the thought of you being alone hurts a little. I had no idea, he says quickly, his voice filled with genuine sympathy. I can only imagine the struggles you must have faced. It's not surprising that you got emotional. He paused for a moment, contemplated whether to say something. She turns her head to look at him. What about you? Do you happen to have troubled talks? You're always smiling and being playful. I figured this guy must be hiding something. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Liam is a bit taken aback by a question. He wasn't expecting you to ask him about his thoughts and feelings. He had always been good at hiding his true emotions. They had the carefree past. See? I understand. It's like she understood what he was trying to avoid. That he was trying to avoid the question. Say, shall we come back to our room? Says Moon as she brushes her dress as she got up from the ground. William rises to his feet alongside you, dusting off his own clothes. Yeah, that was what I was trying to say, but I forgot the word. He can sense that you understood his attempt to deflect the question, which both impresses and irritates him. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna end this like this, as to be continued. I'm gonna like edit it on YouTube and see if like it gets kind of an audience. I'm gonna like have a part 2 or something, because this is too long. I mean, it's supposed to be slow burn, so yeah.